He chose me to go and receive them and cry out, to search and to help them, relieve them with God's mouth. He chose me to go and receive them and cry out, to search and to help them, relieve them with God's mouth. He chose me, even through my wickedness. He chose me. But I'm glad he did. He chose me to go out and teach his world to repent, teach him not to sin. He chose me. He chose me. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Seeking and reaching and teaching. Teach elevation, no seeking. I remember a time when I was asleep. Christ had followed him, so I must be his sheep. So I hearken and his words I will keep.
All right, we got another question that says, what are some scriptures that I can study for anger problems and saying slick things back at people? Excellent question. Excellent question. Let's start at Sirach. This is a problem with majority of Israelites repenting. And the world was very crafty in remarks and speaking how we feel and, not giving a damn about who feel what. But in our repentance, we got to tell all that. Sirach 37, verse 18. Let's start at 18. Get to the point.
Sirach chapter 37 and verse 18. Four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
Read it again.
Four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
Now I started there for a reason. Why did I read that? Good, evil, life and death, and the tongue controls all four of them things.
Shalom. Soldier
Bezalel, I'm sorry. Why I call you up at all? My bad, brother.
The tongue can cause each and every one of those things to come to pass.
Say it again.
The tongue can cause each and every one of those to come to pass.
Short and simple, pretty clear, right? The tongue can cause all four of them things to come to pass. Y'all familiar with that? How many folks y'all know got killed off somebody's word? Beat up on somebody's word? Got some money off somebody's word? All came out the mouth. Everybody familiar with that, right? Can we all relate to that? So read the verse again. We don't jump somewhere.
Sirach.
That's in the Bible, because remember the Bible says those things written aforetime, written for our learning, right?
Yes, sir.
We have to understand our mouth is very powerful. That's why the Most High says that we have to give an account for what? The words that we speak. Because we better understand with God that your mouth can cause four things to happen in the earth. I want you to read that verse one more time. We don't jump.
Sirach chapter 37 and verse 18. Four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue ruleth over them continually.
The tongue rules over all four of them things continually, non-stop. Ephesians 4:26. Watch this.
Bring it up.
I pray everybody is taking notes on this, because this is a continuing, ongoing issue that everybody's going to have. 4:26. Come on.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not.
Read it again.
Be ye angry and sin not.
So y'all know it's not a sin to get upset. Everybody clear on that? It's not a sin to get upset, to be angry, to have that emotion. But where does the sin come in at? Read on.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
That now that the sun's going to your understanding, that now the commandments are not in the forefront with that anger. You're not so angry you don't get out the spirit. Physically hurt somebody, you don't destroy somebody with your mouth, cuss them out. So he said, the Most High understand we don't get angry, but how you going to deal with your anger? Is you going to deal with it the way society deal with it, or the way that a son and daughter of God is supposed to deal with it? It's a difference. So read it again.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 26. Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
So don't let your understanding fade away. God's laws, you forget who the hell you are when you're upset. That's all done tied back into anger and saying slick things with the mouth. I'm going to tie it together. James chapter 3, verse 8.
James chapter 3 and verse 8. But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
So once again, we got to understand our mouth. For you to understand what comes out of it, you got to understand the device, how dangerous it is. It says the tongue is what?
But the tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
Now this is the characteristics of an unrepentant brother and sister. They can't control what comes out of their mouth. They say whatever comes to their mind, have it where they feel. They could care less about the individual, how they feel, what be the actions and results of their words. But now in our repentance, us knowing better, we returning back to our proper thoughts, proper mind. We're not supposed to do what? Think before we speak. We heard that before we found that it was in the Bible. So you're supposed to think before you speak. A lot of times we just speak and think afterwards. Can't operate like that in our repentance. Keep that in mind. Keep James 3 and 8 in mind. Go to 1 Peter's. Hold James. 1 Peter's 3 and 10.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile.
Read it again.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. For he that will love life and see good days.
So when we read about he that will love life and see good days, is talking about what? What is that talking about? For our brother right here.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Just means getting the kingdom.
Means what?
Getting the kingdom.
So if you want to get the kingdom, because that's I pray that's where everybody's goal is, right? Ain't nobody trying to stay here forever, is we? All right. So we're on the same page on that. If we want to get there, we all want to get to final destination. Read on.
Let him refrain his tongue from evil.
You better learn to discipline your mouth. It might not seem like a big thing to you. Oh, well, I can just apologize afterward. That only goes so far in your repentance with God. You understand that? I'm sorry. He only accepts that for so long. At some point, it becomes what Christ said, offending the little ones. And how did Christ feel about you offending the little ones? Anybody know?
This says that it would be better if you had tied a millstone to you and basically drowned.
Christ said, if you offend a little one, that it's better for you basically to kill yourself, suicide. Why you say that? Because he knows the long-term effects of words. Y'all seen the movies? I'm going to give you a good example. Can we give him a carnal example? Because sometimes we need to prepare a letter too. Was that the movie 5 Heartbeats with Eddie Kane? Yeah. What did Eddie Kane's father say to him? Those that seen the movie.
He told him that he wasn't ever going to be nothing because he wasn't nothing.
Do y'all remember that in the movie? He was a grown man singing, being successful. Them words stuck with him for his whole life. No matter how good he was singing, no matter how successful he got, what his father told him growing up affected him. It wasn't the beatings, it was the words. You ain't nothing, you ain't nothing. So what does that carnal analogy let us know? He got on drugs and everything. It destroyed him. Words mean something. And God is going to hold us accountable on our words. That's why he says, every outer word you done and give an account for. Because your words does 4 things. You can bring good or evil, life or death. So watch this. All right, let's read that verse one more time. I got 2 more scriptures. Ain't not turn to a class.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. For he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile.
What is guile? We don't use that. My brother, guile. That's an important word in what we're talking about.
Pull that definition up. There we go. Synonyms. It says
click the arrow.
Artfulness, artifice, caginess.
I want to jump down to that slickness, because that goes back to
slickness. There we go.
You know what slickness is?
Sneakiness.
I'm trying to give a good analogy. You got one? Go ahead.
When somebody tells you something, right? And you look at them and say, "Tell me something I don't know."
Yeah.
That's a good one.
What you telling me that for?
Yeah.
That's very disrespectful.
Yeah.
That's slick.
I know that already. It's some other ones, but like I said, a lot of the analogy we use is out the spirit stuff. But y'all know what it is when y'all being slick, being catty. What's some other words that these sisters can relate to? Say it again. Petty. There we go. Single brother know about that thing. All right. So it says slickness, slyness, sneakiness, subtlety. You throwing kind of low-key jabs at them. There we go, shade. That's the one that you use all the time, shade. And you find out a lot with sisters a lot, you know? But once again, let's read that verse again.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. For he that will love life and see good days.
And we want to get the kingdom, all right? We want to get the kingdom. It says, let him refrain. I mean, discipline your mouth. And we're going to show you how to do that. I got a few scriptures on it. And we're going to touch on some of this a little bit in the class anyway. It says, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile, no slickness, no deceit, no shade, no cattiness. All right? Go back to Sirach real quick. Sirach 5:13. The tongue is powerful. It have destroyed many. That's what our forefathers had said. Sirach 5:13.
Sirach chapter 5 and verse 13. Honor and shame is in talk.
What?
Honor and shame is in talk.
So this is kind of the measuring stick, if you will, on what's coming out of your mouth. Is what you saying will bring honor to you or shame to you? If the slick thing you just said, the person really caught it being slick, would they feel exhorted or would they feel disrespected? You understand what I'm saying? That's what God's looking at. He cares less about what your thought process was. I said that because, she didn't help me with this, or she looked at me, or that brother didn't do this, he didn't call me, he didn't return my phone call. He saw my text. On the thing it said red, so he read it, but he didn't say. God don't care nothing about that. He want to know, he says everything better be done to the edifying. So is honor or shame coming forth when we deal with each other? That gotta be your measuring stick when we deal with each other. And what I'm saying to you gonna build you up, or is it tearing you down? Is it giving you low self-esteem? Making you feel less of a woman, less of a man? You understand what I'm saying? Read on.
And the tongue of man is his fault.
And the what?
And the tongue of man is his fault.
I know a lot of folks that talk themselves into bad situations. They said the wrong thing and now that happened. Why you say that for? I don't know why I said it, but now that's happening to you because you said that. Do you understand that? These are really life lessons. You understand that? One last scripture. Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 11. Wisdom of Solomon 1 verse 11.
The Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 11. Therefore, beware of murmuring.
Whenever you read in the Bible, beware, that should be a trigger word. Whenever we read about beware, that means God do not want you to do that or he will kill you for it immediately. Whenever we see beware, there's some death behind that a little bit later on. So when it says beware, that means danger, 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 abort. What is he saying to, what's danger, what to abort? Read on.
Which is unprofitable and refrain.
Read it again.
The Wisdom of Solomon chapter 1 and verse 11. Therefore, beware of murmuring.
What is murmuring? It falls back up on the tongue.
Murmuring is complaining.
It's what?
Complaining.
That's one form of it. That's one of the main ones. My brother right here.
Gossiping.
Gossiping. One more. Y'all getting into the synonyms of it. Pull it up.
Look at that thing, the first definition.
That thing says murmur. It says to murmur. That's the root word. Ing is the action of the word. It says a half suppressed or muttered complaint.
That's your murmur right there. You went muttering right in somebody's ear.
Right. Hey, look at her. How you doing, Shalom? Look at this. Do you see this again? Hey, you know she saw me with that. She trying to mimic me. Yeah, everybody in here trying to mimic me.
Hobby Lobby. Oh, you look so cute. That's murmuring.
That's murmuring. Did y'all know that? That's slickness, that's shade, that's cattiness. Trying to use words to trigger, that's the behavior that we can't be doing in our repentance. We won't get the kingdom. These things fall up under the moral laws. The moral laws is what's going to keep majority of Israel out the kingdom. Y'all understand that? Ain't nobody done really done missed the kingdom off no port.
You know what? Moral laws is just, and you can't abide by it. Moral laws that God said you're just bad people. You just can't come here. You're just bad. Just evil.
Now, once again, we're dealing with the mouth, our conversation, how we speak, how we deal with each other. What we going over, you'll never hear this out there in the world, because this is natural behavior. The way we operate right here is natural. You're supposed to be slick. You're supposed to throw shade.
It's natural to us, but it's actually unnatural.
Absolutely. So some of the synonyms, beef, brothers, y'all know they created a series, 2-3-part DVD series on beef. Made money off it. To be a successful rapper, you have to be beefing with somebody. I'm gonna read on.
Fuss, grieving,
gripe, grumbling, complaint,
moan,
scroll down. Is it more?
whimper,
grumbling, growls, grouch. Read that again in Wisdom of Solomon.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 1, verse 11.
The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 11. Therefore, beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable.
Why is it unprofitable? Because at the end of it, the kingdom is not for you. Eternal life and all the beautiful things that we read about in the Bible that we are striving and sacrificing for, you're not going to get it because you can't control it.
And even because some people, when we bring out these scriptures, we talk about the end all goal, the kingdom, and some of y'all can't see that far ahead because we see right here. Stop the murmuring when that ceases, or the murmuring for it, or when you do it, there's no benefit to it, because does it change anything? No. You do it because it satisfies your lust. He heard what I had to say, now you feel better. But even if something did happen to change with the person you murmuring against, they do it in resentment, not because they agree with you. It's only to shut you up from murmuring. That's the only reason. Go ahead, Captain.
Yeah, read that whole verse in entirety, then we don't jump to the next question.
Yes, sir. The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 11. Therefore, beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting. For there is no word so secret.
Read that again.
And refrain your tongue from backbiting. For there is no word so secret.
There is no such thing as a secret. God hears everything. You might have just be holding it to yourself. You might have said it under your breath. God heard you. It was very loud. You and your mind saying all type of and God hearing it like if you speaking it loudly. Like, dang, that's what it is.
Right.
These are moral laws, brothers and sisters, that if we don't learn how to conquer, that's what you have to do, conquer it. Conquer your mouth. It's one more scripture about putting the bridle on your tongue. It's the worldly version of the scripture is, if you can't say nothing nice at all, do what? Don't say nothing. You know, that was biblical. The Lord said put a bridle on your tongue, don't say nothing. So if you still working on, if this was your spirit, you know, you're real slick with the mouth, limit what you say. The scriptures that we went over right now, and we don't go over more throughout the class, these are the things that you meditate on and go over. Because what's going to kill a slick spirit, an anger spirit, is scriptures. These are spiritual words in the Bible. It's more than just black and white words. It's spiritual. It's a spirit. The reason why you got an anger problem is because you got an anger demon. It's a spirit. Only thing the Most High set up to conquer demons and spirits is His word. All right?
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel, Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates on all our YouTube channels. Shalom.